Now on to 6 at the core of the mental triad. So 6 as a mental type at the center of the triad is dissociated from their mental processes in a particular way. It doesn't mean they're silly or unintelligent. Most of my close friends are 6s. I love them. But it means they're never quite sure if what they think is accurate. Well, it could be, but there's always another thought that could also be true. So when you never can come to rest with your, like, okay, that's what's happening here. Okay, that opinion is correct. That opinion is unnecessary. That opinion is wrong. This is the direction to go. This is the decision I should make. When you're never quite sure, well, that seems like the decision I should make, or that seems like the right opinion, but might not be. So 6s are always second guessing and always sure, often correctly, that there's something going on that someone's not saying, but that it's really important. And they need to find that something to protect themselves and others. So 6s are the second guessers of the Enneagram, have a lot of doubt. Now, that can be very, very disturbing for the 6 and for others because they're always doubting you and themselves. And you're like, well, can't you just settle on something? Can't you just see this is good, this is not? No. However, doubt is very intelligent. Doubt is a sign of discernment. So I'm not going to settle for things just because you say so. I'm going to keep looking until I see to my own satisfaction what is actually going on. So run wild without controls, that's endless. You never figure out what's going on. But when there's some sense of self-trust starts to develop in a 6, because that's the thing that must happen. 6s must trust themselves above all. And then their doubt can be used quite constructively. Weirdly, during this time, by the way, the avoidance for 6 is called, what's it called? Deviance. The avoidance for 6 is called deviance. So it doesn't mean they don't want to be deviant. Who does? But it means deviating from the norm. Because once things deviate from the norm, the 6 is like, oh, all the alarms, all the flags, everything is turned on. So weirdly, as I was starting to say a moment ago, during this pandemic, the 6s I know are kind of like a little bit calmer than the rest of us because everything's gone wrong. You don't have to poke too far. You don't have to be like, well, people are saying things are fine, but they really aren't, which is the 6's sort of approach to things generally. No one is saying things are fine. Everyone is saying things are wrong. And for 6, it's like, okay, now you finally see what I'm talking about. So I'm not saying 6s are happy and this is not bothering them. It's, of course not. But there is, for the 6s I know at least, there's a sense of, okay, now you know what I'm talking about. Because the everything is deviating from the norm. So I have a little bit more familiarity with that than you. And you do, Mr./Ms/neither 6. Self-preservation 6 is called warm. All 6s have a relationship to authorities and institutions. They either want to not make them angry, and so act warm, well, just don't upset them, or they want to tear them down because authority is what can actually hurt you, which is true. So they're not worried about being as worried about being hurt by friends, although of course we all don't want to be hurt by our friends. But 6s are looking for the societal structures that could cause damage to all of us, and they're attuned to what's going on, or they want to know what's going on within those structures. So warm 6s, self-preservation 6s, are more likely to be, okay, just don't upset the apple cart. Be cool. We're going to take them down later. hold your cards close to your chest. Pretend to be nice. We're really keeping an eye on you. It's weird. I have 3 of my closest friends in the world out of 6 or something. I don't have like thousands of close friends. Are self-preservation 6s. I apparently have a great love for them. Thank you, self-preservation 6s. Social 6 is called duty. If everybody just did their duty out there in the world, we would be safe, because what 6s want is safety. Self-preservation 6s get it from not upsetting the authorities. Social 6s get it from like going, if everybody just did their job, we would all be safe. It's true, but that's not ever going to happen, I don't think. And then sexual 6, very different. The 6s all look very different from each other, as do the 4s. The 5s kind of look like each other. 6 is very different. So sexual 6 is called strength and beauty. If I just appear to be the strongest or the most beautiful, I will be protected. I'll be protected by my masculinity and that people are afraid of me, or I'll be protected by my beauty and that people want to treasure me or shelter me. Really different than the other 2 6s. The gift of 6 is, since they don't trust anyone, that's not the gift, but they'll test you. And if you pass the test, which they have every right to conduct, they will be your friend for life. The friendship and love of a 6 is unlike the friendship and love of any other type. It is steadfast, it is devoted, it is reliable. It's like you're in. And it's such a great feeling. That must be why I love them so much. So right now, in a pandemic, as mentioned, many 6s are like, I told you. But they're also out there advocating. I call 6 the advocate for those who are getting the short end of the stick, of which there are quite a few. So 6s are going to fight the powers that be. 6s are going to protect their friends. 6s are going to have their ear to the ground for the underdog and stand between the underdog and the forces that are trying to run them over. So thank you, 6s. Thank you for being willing to fight for those who have less. And there's always someone who has less. And there's always a 6 out there going, you need to pay attention to these people too. So thank you for that. And if you are a 6 or live with a 6, anxiety can be really hard right now, because we don't know what to trust. We don't know when it's going to end. We don't know what's happening. So if you are a 6 or you live with a 6, do what you can to remind them of what they can count on, no matter what it is. Look, here's some food. We got food. I love you. You can count on that. It's morning. The sun is up. These are simple things, and I don't mean to sound trite, but what can we count on? It's very helpful to remind the 6s in our world, or yourself if you are a 6, this is what you can rely on. Don't lie to them, and don't make shit up, because then that will really, really hurt them. When you say this is what you can rely on, you have to be sure that you're telling the truth. The talking style of 6 is called rules and regulations. It's pouring rain. I don't know if you can hear that. How was your Enneagram talk? Well, she did not say that you are not supposed to type other people. She never said that. I haven't. It's true. She didn't say that. She should have said right up front, this is about typing yourself. Don't try to type other people. The Enneagram is not a way of ghettoizing human beings. It's a way of understanding them. And you know what, 6? You're right. I should have said that. So that's an example of rules and regulations. And thank you, Invisible 6. You are correct.